Trap it, we swear to God I could have been Freddie Gray. I'm Mike Brown getting down with a on me and a half a. Let me buy Sandra Bland. Listen, boy, you're challenging with the running man. I was challenging with a in hand. What you see before you, what they told you from nothing, man. Grand hustle over everything. And hit the king like an 18-wheeler in and out of air lane. Never been a part of the in crowd. Got a problem with me? I said, yeah, I got the same friend that I came in with, ducking all that lane. Hey, everyone knows on go. I rolled in the 4x4. Believe if I kept gon' go see me with, ain't gon' see them no more.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
1st and 10. Here's Bortles. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That's now a 2nd and... Interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Forced out to his left. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Their mobile quarterback. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Bills. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
On second down, here's Bortles. Benjamin's got it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 8 carries, 61 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. That'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll drop to throw. And this is caught. It's Bryant, and it's a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, sings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Johnson on the counter. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the 1st. There are the numbers for McDonald from a week ago. 6 catches, 51 yards.
I like the performances he's put up throughout the year. That's the reason he's ranked number 9 in the league in receiving yards. In a league that throws the ball around like crazy, number 9's a good number.
They're going to look to throw. This is intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Johnson fights through it. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arm on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be fielded at the 6.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
White 20! White 20! Up! Check, watch 54.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Buying time to his left. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll look to throw, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And his kick is indeed good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now let's go.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
This one complete, right side to McDonald. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan. And you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection. So you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield. So you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion. Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
He'll look to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. This is fielded at the 7. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Trey Hendrickson in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now back to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Eluding the pressure right. He is going to find Hill here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Being chased out left. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's going to fire one, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. This is taken at his 4. Look at the spin. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he hit
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
Caught on the right side, Reed. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. In for the score. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hurry up, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
Set, blue, landed.
He'll look to throw. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And that play is blown up. Losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now it's him carry for Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Right 20.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll drop the throw. Steps away to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Fight 90.
Four down, check. Four down.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hill. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're running with Gurley. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Oh, man. 4th down and 1, and you're on your own side of midfield? That takes a little bit of courage to pull off, but they went ahead and snapped it, and it'll work out for them as they get the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it, escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Offense. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Right 20.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Hey, let's go.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys did not play offense.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
White 20. White 20.
On first down, it's Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Gurley. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back.
You got 4. You got 4.
Alpha, alpha.
Back to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one. They'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Bills. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And all the way down to the 35. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
On 1st down, he'll drop the throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's McDonald. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll set up a throw. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Suckup will put this one right through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Right 20! Right 20!
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So the delay of game penalty backs them up. It's now 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
4 down, check, 4 down.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They're going to look to throw. And an alley to run. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Right 20!
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 10 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction. After a play like that.
They'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They will run again with Coleman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Geno Atkins in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's, he said it's a, the pretty, like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this button, the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Babe, like a Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they so sodium. They jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. Why you was sleeping on me? I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
No introduction really necessary. Get the message like a secretary. Boy, I'm legendary. When I'm dead and buried, still be kicking flavor in the cemetery. Trap music originator. Fresh off of my hiatus. Yelling you to all my haters. They skywalk, I'm Darth Vader. But promise I don't give a about them. Let them out to anywhere. Tell them you don't need nothing. Yup, like and the can't go enter. New Cadillac with some all-go hammer. Long as I remember out of Atlanta. I can give a about a dog. Cause I'm used to getting things from a text. So I count setting numbers in the hood. Do what I say do. Tell break bread, a fake dead, a bit to hate that. 50 million, you die to make that middle. You vote for Trump and see me outside, well, you know what's up. I ain't hearing no peace talk, ain't funny, no hee-haw. Like a Black Panther weak to the teeth, try me weak. Swear to God, I could have been Freddie Gray. Or Mike Brown getting down with a on me and a half a. Let me buy Sandra Bland. Listen, boy, you're challenging with the running man. I was challenging with a hand. What you see before you, what they told you from nothing, man. Grand hustle over everything. And hit the king like an 18-wheeler in and out of air lane. Never been a part of the in crowd. Got a problem with me? I said, yeah, I got the same friend that I came in with, ducking all that lane. Hey, everyone knows on go. I rolled in a 4x4. Believe if a kid gon' go see me with ain't gon' see them no more. They love when I talk. They roll by the car lot when bought it. Caught case at the case and a phone. They will watch.